What if I told you that the strongest men in the room aren't the loudest, the angriest, or the most aggressive? What if real power isn't just about how much weight you can lift, how much money you make, or how little you sleep, but how well you understand what's happening inside you? This is beyond grit. This is about building a modern alpha male, one who is grounded, disciplined, emotionally intelligent, and unshakable. Not soft, not weak, not apologetic, but deeply self-aware. And that changes everything. Let's be honest. The old version of masculinity is breaking down. The version that says, never show emotion, handle everything alone. Anger is the only acceptable feeling. Vulnerability equals weakness. That model produced men who were tough on the outside, but disconnected, reactive, and quietly exhausted on the inside. Many men today are strong, capable, disciplined, and still feel empty. Not because they're failing, but because grit alone is no longer enough. The modern world doesn't reward unchecked aggression. It rewards clarity, adaptability, emotional control. The alpha male hasn't disappeared. He's evolved. Let's kill the myth right now. Emotional intelligence is not therapy speak. It's not crying on command. It's not losing your edge. Emotional intelligence is command and control internally. It has the ability to recognize what you're feeling in real time, understand why you're feeling it, choose a response instead of reacting. That's power. A man who can control his emotions will always dominate a man who is controlled by them. Think about it. In conflict, in leadership, in relationships, under pressure, the man who stays calm, present, and intentional always wins. Most men were never taught the language of emotion. So what happens? Stress turns into anger. Anger turns into isolation. Isolation turns into burnout. You see it everywhere. Explosive reactions, silent resentment, overworking, numbing out with distractions. This isn't strength, it's leakage. Every unprocessed emotion drains energy. Every avoided conversation erodes respect. And worst of all, it disconnects you from your own intuition. A man who doesn't understand himself cannot fully lead others. Here's the shift. The modern alpha doesn't suppress emotion, he masters it. He knows the difference between anger and boundaries, fear and intuition, sadness and fatigue, confidence and ego. This man checks in with himself daily, not obsessively, not emotionally dumping, but with precision. He asks, what am I feeling? What triggered it? What's the correct response? That pause, that space between stimulus and response, is where dominance lives. Pressure reveals the man. When things go wrong, do you explode, shut down, blame, or do you regulate? Emotional intelligence means slowing your breath, grounding your body, maintaining presence. The strongest men aren't the emotionless, they're regulated. They feel everything, but they're not hijacked by it. This is what makes men dangerous in the best way. Calm, focused, intentional. Here's the truth most men avoid. Your emotional intelligence directly determines the quality of your relationships. With women, with children, with teams. Respect doesn't come from dominance alone. It comes from consistency and emotional safety. A masculine man communicates clearly, holds boundaries without rage, listens without collapsing. This creates polarity, trust, attraction. You don't lose masculinity by understanding emotions. You anchor it. Let's get tactical. Tool 1. Daily emotional check-in once a day. Ask, what did I feel today? When did my body react? What did I avoid? Tool 2. Name before you tame. If you can name an emotion, you can manage it. Anger, frustration, disappointment, fear. Be specific. Tool 3. Breath as a weapon. Slow breathing under stress trains your nervous system. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. That's discipline. This isn't about replacing grit. It's about upgrading it. Grit without awareness becomes stubbornness. Strength without sensitivity becomes brutality. The modern alpha blends physical discipline, mental clarity, emotional mastery. This man doesn't chase validation. He generates presence. He doesn't react. He responds. Ask yourself, what kind of man are you becoming? One who is feared but disconnected, or one who is respected, grounded, and deeply trusted? Your legacy won't be measured only by what you built, but by how people felt in your presence. Calm, safe, inspired. That's real power. The future belongs to men who can hold intensity and awareness. Men who can lift heavy weight and heavy emotions. Men who are dangerous not because they're volatile, but because they're centered. This is beyond grit. This is emotional intelligence. And this is the modern alpha male.